Hello everybody and welcome to Gun Talk. My name is Dave. In today's video we're going to focus on the installation of a stock trigger into our AR15 lower receiver. Now we're going to install a stock trigger into our AR lower receiver. These are the components of our trigger. This is our hammer spring, trigger spring, disconnector spring, hammer, and trigger pins. And we'll also use a punch to assist with the installation. Let's get our springs connected to our trigger components. We'll start with the disconnector spring. This spring is going to go right here. And we need to push it down to make a recess into that hole. It's going to, you might hear a slight click as it sits into that recess. Now our spring is wider on the one side than the other. It's kind of hard to tell in this video, but on this bottom side right here, the spring is wider, and that's the side that we're going to recess into the trigger. Push it in, and I'm going to take a punch. I'm just going to make sure it's down in there good. Punch is a little too big. Let me try a different one. There we go. So now it's nice and snug in our trigger. Next we'll put our trigger spring on. Our orientation for this is going to be like that. Okay. And now we'll install our hammer spring. The orientation for our hammer spring is going to be like this. Alright. Now let's install our trigger components into our lower receiver. We'll start with the trigger here and the disconnect. The disconnect is going to sit like this over our trigger. So let's drop our trigger in. Now I'll drop my disconnect in over top of it. And now I'm going to take a punch, push it through from the other side to get things lined up. Now I'm going to take a trigger pin, put a little oil on it to help get us through that hole a little better. And I'm going to push this in, so I'm pushing things in from right to left. And you can see the various grooves. So we get that better. See the various grooves on our pin? We want the long part going in first. It just takes a little wiggling and finagling here to get everything to line up. There we go. Now we'll install our hammer. So this is going to be the orientation of our spring. These legs are going to straddle over the trigger, and then we're going to push everything forward to get it lined up for the hammer pin. There we go. And again, the orientation of our hammer pin is going to be the long side in first. Drop a little oil on this pin as well to get it lubricated. Now we can cock our hammer, do a function check. Okay. Now our final function check will be after we put our safety selector in, and that way we can ensure that we can put the trigger on safe and everything functions correctly. And that completes the installation of a stock trigger into our AR15 lower receiver. As you could tell in the video, there were several breaks. I had a hard time getting the hammer installed, the hammer pin installed, and so it took several attempts to do that. However, if you still found the video useful, I would appreciate your comments and subscribing to my channel. Thank you.